Vassily was very excited in the warm-up, so I just walked into the start box and you hear go. So I'd pressed my watch and I wanted to see a nice distance to the first fence, but I get here and then all of a sudden I have to wait a little. But so I then allowed him to run forward. I looked down at my watch to make sure that it was going. You could just hear me clicking him. I ran a little wide on that turn, and this fence I saw a nice distance to it. I just allowed to keep coming in the rhythm. Absolutely perfect. So I then galloped on this turn to the right. This came up much quicker than I was expecting, and so I just allowed Vassily to run around it. And here, as we come to this owl hole, I had to just wait a little, and he just skipped a little in his step running down and then up. You could see how much I moved. You hear me give him a little bit of encouragement to keep galloping, because as I crossed this bridge, this was the 1 minute mark for the first minute, and so I was right on time there. I had good speed, so I just allowed him to run wide. Coming up to the fourth fence, I decided to jump the left corner. So just as I go over the road, I start to just slow him down a little, just turn him. Then you see my line there, but I'm actually on a little bit waiting distance. You hear me talking to him, say, "Come, good boy." He was really good. Like, you can see with his ears how focused he is on the fences. Here, very tight turn into this gate. Just wait, not be in a hurry. Then 5 strides around here. And then, again, a gallop up. I could have done it in 4, but I just wanted to give the horse confidence, give him time, not rush him, because he was very excited to be here at Aachen. He ran here last year, and so he a little bit knew what was coming. So the 2 minute mark right there as I just crossed over that line, and then turning left, a little bit quiet distance into the Oxer. Gave him encouragement. He tried really hard over that. Then just talking steady, then moved him. Land. Just wait through the water here, looking. You can see me looking at the fence, giving him time to just see it. A lot of horses seem to be having trouble there. Then I just added 1 extra stride around to that skinny. Then I moved to this, but again, I had to just wait a little. But that's a big, wide Oxer. And so then back on the power again, and Vassily, he just loved galloping up this hill. You can see his ears pricked, you can see the fence in the distance coming up. Saw an absolutely flying distance to this fence. He was really, really good. And now the next point that was coming up was my 3 minute mark. And you'll just see as I go around this turn, you see a red peg on the left. It was just before that peg was when the minute, where I measured the minute marker. I was right on time there. I wasn't ahead of time and I wasn't under time, right on time. So I just kept encouraging him to keep galloping. This is a very tight turn here, jumping up onto a bank, 1 stride to the post and rail. Just give him time to see what he's doing. Land 4 strides down to this very narrow skinny fence, then stay wide to my right, turn left to the Oxer, and then 4 strides around this turn. And then I had really good speed around there, and so I could get away from the fence really well, and just encouraging him to keep galloping. You can hear the wind that was involved. And now the next minute mark was the yellow peg, but you don't look at your watch before galloping, while galloping to a fence. You gallop to that, then I look down at my watch. When the camera goes to the left like that, that's when I was actually looking at my watch. I was a little ahead of time, but I thought, well, I need to keep galloping down here. This next fence, which is a big log with a brush on top over a big ditch, I just stayed wide here, turned in, and just kept galloping on a little bit of a right turn to this, probably doing around 700 meters a minute. Absolutely fantastic. Galloped up the hill to what was a very influential fence previously, so you need to just give time. I stayed out to a skinny fence. There's the skinny brush. Jump it. Yeah. Then 4 strides across there.
Good boy.
So there, just really encouraging him. I just went past the 3-minute mark, the next minute marker, and he was up on the clock there, so that was good. Stay very wide here to the right, turning left over this narrow bridge, and then he was planning on going right. See how he looked right? But I just held him on the line over the log, then very open 4 strides down to this fence. He was just absolutely fantastic. And galloping, you can just see with his ears how he sometimes takes an ear back just to listen to what I'm saying. Coming to this fence, I turn on the inside of these little trees to the blue house, just waiting. Nice jump in, nice 3 strides, absolutely flew over that, then to this next fence. Yeah, like that was just super. Yeah, so he was really, really good. And then galloping up here, I can't remember that I looked at my watch because I was so focused on what I needed to do. Left here, go to the right of this little tree. This was a very difficult combination. Over the brush, then to, yeah, he was fantastic. Yeah, absolutely great there. And he's so focused on what I say and what I actually do with my hands and my body position. Here I just gallop around this turn, see a really nice distance to this arcane fence, through this little narrow gap. Come Vassily, come, keep going, that's great. You hear the crowd. I'm not sure whether you're listening to me or the crowd turning into the water over this brush. With another 3 jumping efforts. The next one, I think, was, for me, I thought one of the most difficult fences, so narrow towards the end of the course. Turning left-handed, I just need to give him time to jump this unbelievably narrow, a small turn left, and then 6 strides to the last fence. And it was only when I went through the finish that I actually looked at my watch. 3 seconds outside the time. He was just absolutely fantastic. Or actually it might have been a little bit more. Right on the 7 minutes I finished. And so could not be more thrilled with the way that he finished, the way he just canters around the arena. He just loved the fact of being there. Gave me an opportunity to wave to the crowd. They were so appreciative of when I came into the arena. So yeah, Vassily de Lassos, David and Paula Evans' horses, just absolutely fantastic. This is Katie, my groom, walking down there. Stephanie, my wife.
What was my time?
So they're just asking Steffi exactly what was my time. They would have seen it on the big screen. I wasn't quite sure. So you can just see how he's just so happy to come back to walk.
Good boy.